Really started to assert himself. I think he's feeling a lot more confident, so he's going to push Wayne. You know, Wayne was starting to try and separate himself, but I mean, Zach is starting to close that gap, and Tyshawn's looking more confident every day, and CJ's back, taking reps, and then you get Adam back. So obviously we hadn't even seen Adam this spring, and then CJ Fuller, like I said, he's been a very, very pleasant surprise. So it's good to have depth. Competitive depth, and again, you need it at that position because it's a physical game, and again, we're a two-back oriented downhill running team, and we like to run those guys between the tackles, so they got to hold up. So you got to have depth, but key is making sure that they all have a little bit of flavor that they bring, but there's not a whole lot of difference in terms of the productivity when they get out.
Those young offensive linemen that came in, how much did they really elevate the older guys to say, hey, look, if you don't do well, they can take your job, kind of thing?
Oh, I think. Well, one, those guys, they're not big talkers. They're just workers, and you're talking about, Mitch and Jake in particular that come from a football background. They got uncles and fathers that played at the highest level, and they come from great programs where they're prepared. And then you got somebody like Taylor Hearn, who may not have came from the same caliber of program, but he's been here a year. And now you know that he's going to be a mauler. So they see these guys working. They're not saying a whole lot, and then they see the athletic ability, they see the knowledge of the game that they have. It catches the attention of the older guys in a positive way. So there's not any dissension, but they understand that, hey, these young guys, this is a little bit different than what's been coming here in the past.
It's only been 2 practices, but how is J.J. McCullough transitioning to being back with the team?
He's still working, and this spring would have been critical for him, and we're just glad to have him back. And this summer's going to be huge. He's got to get himself back into shape. He's got to get as many reps as he can in our skills and drills and things that we do over the summer to get himself prepared. But didn't get to see a whole lot out of him just because of the transition and being a little bit behind just from a knowledge standpoint because he wasn't here for the first part with the installation. But encouraged that he's back. We're going to need him, and again, that's the position right there that really makes the offense go. In order for us to be able to play fast, to be flexible, you got to have those tight ends that can do multiple things. And again, Jordan, like I told you before, he's had a really, really good spring. You're starting to see signs of his leadership and his playmaking ability. And then Cannon, and then obviously losing Milan, that was big for Milan. But that's a position right there that we got to get our depth healthy and get them back rolling so that we can be who we are.
How will you manage to run it back
into the spring games? Obviously, we're going to split them up. And we split the coaches up too, so everything's pretty much split up evenly. And then they'll rotate, they'll rotate, and we got them split up, kind of just to make sure that it's even. You got a couple. There's going to be one team that may have one more than the other, just because we got 5 guys going through spring with choice out. But we'll split them up evenly, and we'll just let them go play.